Only through replacing my habits was I able to unlock that next level of my physique. Because for years, I trained hard, super consistently too. I was showing up to the gym 5-6 days a week because it's something that I loved, it's something I enjoyed. But because of my habits outside of the gym, I completely stalled my progress that I could be making. Habits that I didn't even realize were that bad for me in the first place. Drinking alcohol, smoking weed, going to bed late, not tracking my calories, not focusing on my diet, not caring about steps, not being consistent with cardio, not knowing the systems and routines outside of the gym that would actually escalate my progress to the next level. So I was stuck in this loop of, having a pretty good idea actually of what I was doing in the gym. I wasn't using some like research-based, science-based training techniques or nothing, but I would train with intensity, train till failure, put in some solid ass effort. But because I couldn't implement all those things outside of the gym, aka my habits, it simply stalled my progress, and I was not able to keep moving forward and keep achieving ridiculous results from there. Through habits, I was able to put systems in place and routines that genuinely guarantee me results, whether it's building muscle, shredding fat, or just achieving a desired body weight. That's just the approach that I take. It keeps me motivated to always be either cutting or bulking or moving my body weight in one direction or another. But through it, packed on a ridiculous amount of muscle in the past year. Right now I'm cutting down to 10% body fat. I'm going to be doing my first bodybuilding show in September. And it's ridiculous because I was just this kid that, enjoyed the gym and whatnot, but didn't know how people achieve absurd results naturally, because I was already training hard. I was 3 years into the gym and my physique was still not that great. Through this, it's like, I want to bulk up and gain muscle, boom, done. I want to cut fat and get absolutely shredded, done. It's that simple. And everybody knows how difficult it can be to start a habit, to break a habit, because it's just things that we resort to doing automatically, right? That's what habits are. It's just things that we do on a daily basis without a whole lot of cognitive effort. If you're used to brushing your teeth every single morning on automatic while you're still half asleep, shit's just gonna happen. It's a habit. And because they're so incredibly difficult to break by themselves and build by themselves, something that helped me a ton is replacing them. Not just getting rid of it. I needed to fill the void with another effort or with another habit, another task that would benefit me and take me one step closer towards my desired goal instead of taking it backwards. Whether I like to admit it or not, I was a guy that smoked weed every single night, drank multiple times every single week, had an awful relationship with lust towards women. I'd jerk off pretty consistently. And, all those habits, although they do semi-directly correspond to the results that you achieve in the gym, maybe not all of them, but all of those things affected my mentality, my discipline, and I had to take myself from being a man in those shoes to quit the weed, quit the drinking, quit the porn, and actually start becoming the best version of myself. All of this I did by slowly replacing my habits. And that's just the truth. Becoming unrecognizable, it takes severe habit change. You take a habit of jerking off before bed and you turn it into journaling before bed. You take a habit of smoking weed before bed and you turn it into taking supplements before bed. It's replacement, and it's not an easy thing to do, but it's, in my opinion, a whole lot easier to replace than it is to just get rid of or to start a new one. And that's a few perfect examples of like smaller lifestyle changes that I made. And of course it's not small. It's not easy to just put down the joint and pick up some creatine. Like, that's not what I'm talking about here. But one of the bigger habit replacements that absolutely changed my life, and it still changes my life to this day, is I used to have the habit of going to bed late, right? And with the habit of going to bed late came a ton of other habits. I would jerk off at night, I would smoke weed at night, I would drink at night. Basically the most degenerate habits that would hold me back from actually building the muscle and staying disciplined and motivated happened at night. So the biggest change that I made was I took that nightly shift. That's what you can call it, a shift. I don't know, maybe after dinner, your shift starts and it's what you do before bed. It's a shift. It's usually not productivity. You could turn it into productivity, right? What I did is I took that time block and I transferred it to my morning. Because I don't know if it's a personality thing or I guess I've just always been that way, but mornings are my productive time. Even when I was in school and I was drinking and I was doing all these things, that's when I would do schoolwork. That's when I would actually lock in and get shit done. So I took that time block and I transferred it to the morning every single day, non-negotiable. So I was forced to be going to sleep early and I was forced to be waking up early. I just forced myself, alarms, no shit. But the way that I did that is literally one night. It was probably midnight. I set an alarm for 5 a.m. And it's that nightly motivation that got to me, of course. But set that alarm for 5 a.m., woke up. It was hard. It was not easy. But just through grit, I got myself the fuck out of bed. And survived the whole day. Wanted to pass out early. And that's how I shifted my sleep schedule the first time. Of course, I've fallen off since then. But I still consistently wake up at 5 a.m. And what that allows me to do is if I can just have that in place, just that, forget about everything else, I'm far more likely to wake up, do my normal morning routine of going for a walk, taking my supplements, having my breakfast, tracking my calories, setting myself up for success right off the bat. Having all those habits in place of like those tedious things that I don't want to be taking care of. I don't want to worry about tracking my body weight and tracking my calories and my step count and all this, what I used to think was bullshit, but actually makes the most amount of progress. I get those things done right away. I put myself on the right track in that morning shift instead of that nightly shift of absolute degeneracy. And once my day gets over with and after dinner, habits like journaling, I'll get into that in a second. I'll set myself up further for success for the next day and want to get to bed early because I've had the best day ever. There's no better feeling than wrapping up a day where you destroyed all your goals, completed the needle movers, got your workout in, tracked your calories, hit your macros, and you can go to bed saying it is guaranteed that if I live out X amount of these days, I will be in the best shape of my life. There's no better feeling than that. So like I just previously mentioned, nightly motivation, I would have these spurs of motivation at night. It's like, oh dude, fuck, like I gotta get my life together. I'm not shredded. I needed them. I obviously needed them. But that what tends to happen when you're ambitious, but you have nowhere to channel that energy and you've been slacking like a motherfucker. But nightly motivation, what I've learned to do is I'll take that nightly motivation that I almost still have each and every single night and I'll turn it in to the next day's productivity through the habit that I also just previously mentioned, journaling. It's basically what I'll do. Especially when it's compounding, when I've already murdered today. So like today, I woke up at 4:45, went for my morning walk, got everything that I needed to do done. Tonight, I'm gonna sit down knowing that I just destroyed my goals, that I'm gonna be only getting leaner, only building more muscle, only making more progress towards my desired result. And I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna plan ahead for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a bit of a weird day. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. I'm going camping tomorrow. We're leaving at like noon. Not a normal day. But in order to still succeed towards my goals, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plan everything out ahead. So I'm gonna make a journal, when I'm gonna wake up, what's the first things I'm gonna do. Some things happen on automatic and I still write them down. And especially the ones that don't, especially the habits that you wanna be replacing and putting into your new routine to start making insane progress, that's what needs to be written down. So I'll write down, wake up, 4:45, get ready, pray, take my supplements, go for a walk. I don't track my body weight in there, which is pretty interesting. I don't put that in there. I posted on my Instagram stories each and every single morning of me tracking my body weight at 5 in the morning, but I never put it in there, which is kind of odd. But again, habit. I'm just used to doing it. I still write those pillars down right there. Then afterwards, that's when I grab my coffee and I get right the fuck to work. So I'll have a little line that says exactly what I'm going to be doing for work, what needs to get done. Training for the sales job I'm starting, coaching check-in calls, These bugs are disgusting. Right? Putting together programs, putting together content, all these things, everything that needs to get done is planned ahead of time, and I put that down in a list. And it's time blocked, right? So I have like my little shifts of getting work done, when I'm gonna go for my walk, when I'm gonna have my first meal, what the meal's gonna be. It's my 50-gram protein breakfast that I have each and every single day that I also post on my stories. Go follow my Instagram if you haven't. But everything's just planned out ahead of time. And that allows me to have like this picture of my day where I can then go through it and adjust those habits and tweak those habits to keep propelling myself forward and to keep holding myself accountable. This stuff can take time, guys. You're not just gonna write this journal down and it's gonna click into place right overnight. But you have to start with what you have now and start slowly implementing new things. I'm not saying that you have to go from waking up at 12, waking up at, sleeping in and whatnot, going to sleep late and sleeping in, to waking up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. It's going to be hard to do. I somehow, my nightly motivation forced me to do it, and I think that's the best way to go. But all these other habits, if you're used to eating dog shit and going out and drinking on the weekends and smoking weed and jerking off, and you were like me, it'll take some time. It takes time to get rid of the people that you surround yourself with currently, because they're not on the same track that you want to be on. It takes time to adjust your habits. But the biggest one, if you're going to take anything away, is that journaling, man. Planning ahead of time. Use that nightly motivation. Use that nightly energy to journal. Write everything down in advance so that you have that game plan in place. And when you're a dumbass, I still treat myself like a dumbass. I'm just calling myself a dumbass. When you're a dumbass gets caught doom scrolling or watching YouTube or mentally masturbating about all the work that you're going to get done, what you can do is you can just open up your journal and it says, this is what you got to do, bro. You still haven't taken your supplements. You still haven't, had this meal yet. You still haven't taken your pre-workout and gone to the gym. You still and then from there, you're basically a fucking robot, dude. You're a fucking machine. A machine. If you have that planned out in front of you, all you have to do is read the damn thing and do what it says. It's that simple. I used to be undisciplined. I used to have awful habits, and I turned that in to the most productivity I've ever seen from myself. And I'm literally doing my first bodybuilding show by myself. I don't have a coach. Coaching myself through it, posing practice, the whole thing. Disciplining myself to get down to 8%, 7% body fat. It's crazy shit, man. If you told me a year ago today that my fat ass was going to be doing this, I'll tell you to get the fuck out of here. But thank you guys for tuning in. Do not walk away from this video and just do nothing about it. I want you to go and I want you to implement this and understand that habits are the foundation. Your habits and your systems are the foundation of how much you're going to accomplish. You never rise to the level of your aspirations. You fall to the level of your standards. I don't care if you want to be 10% body fat. If your standards and your systems and your habits are at 25% body fat, that's what the fuck you're going to be, all right? I'll catch you guys here in the next one.